October 2009, Oklahoma. A family of three drove into the mountains to look at land. Their truck was found abandoned. Everything left inside. Wallets, phones, $32,000 cash. Their dog was still inside, alive, starving. The family was gone. All three of them. 4 years later, their bodies were found. Face down, side by side, in a line. No explanation. Eufaula, Oklahoma. A small lake town on the eastern edge of the state. Population, 3,000. Bobby Jamison, 44 years old. On disability after a car accident. Chronic back pain. Sherilyn Jamison, 40 years old. Diagnosed with severe bipolar disorder. Increasingly paranoid. Madison Jamison, 6 years old. Their only child. Bright, shy, loved by everyone. The Jamisons were not a happy family. Bobby was locked in a bitter lawsuit with his own father. Bobby accused his father of threatening the family and being involved in methamphetamine production. Sherilyn wrote an 11-page letter to Bobby, full of rage. She accused him of not loving Madison, but the strangest detail came from Bobby's pastor. Bobby said spirits were inside their house. He asked the pastor about special bullets, bullets that could fight spirits. The pastor was alarmed. A so-called witch Bible was found in their home, books on the occult and dark spirituality. Bobby had also reported a local meth lab to the police in an area known for drug trafficking. The Bois Mountains of southeastern Oklahoma, heavily forested, remote, known for drug operations and secrecy. The Jamisons wanted to buy a 40-acre plot of land near Red Oak, a fresh start. On October 8, 2009, the family loaded their truck and drove toward the mountains. Surveillance cameras recorded everything. The footage showed Bobby and Sherilyn making over 20 trips between the house and the truck. Back and forth, over 20 times. But neither of them spoke a single word. Police described the footage as trance-like, as if they were sleepwalking, or being controlled by something. In the video, Sherilyn can be seen carrying her handgun and a brown briefcase. Neither was ever recovered. They left with their daughter Madison and their dog Maisie, into the mountains, into silence. 9 days later, when no one heard from them, the family was reported missing. Search teams drove into the Bois Mountains. They found the truck first, at the end of a dirt road, less than a mile from the property they planned to view. They had almost made it. Inside the locked truck, investigators found everything. Everything except the family. 3 wallets, 3 sets of identification, 3 cell phones, all left on the seats. Sherilyn's purse, Bobby's GPS device, their coats. Nobody walks away from their coats. And under the driver's seat, $32,000 in cash, stuffed in an envelope, hidden. $32,000. Where did a family on disability get that kind of money? Empty pill bottles for Bobby's pain medication. Opioids. They were empty when found. The dog Maisie was found alive inside the locked vehicle, but she was severely malnourished, barely breathing. Maisie had been locked inside that truck for 9 days, without food, without water. She survived. The family walked away from $32,000, their identities, their phones, and their dog. Something forced them out of that truck, or someone made them leave it. Search teams scoured the mountains, K-9 units, helicopters, hundreds of volunteers. Nothing. The Bois Mountains are dense, heavily wooded, easy to get lost in, easier to hide in. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. The search was scaled back, then abandoned. For 4 years, the Jamison family was simply gone. No bodies, no trace, no answers. Then on November 16, 2013, 2 deer hunters walked into a remote area 3 miles from the truck. They found bones, partial skeletal remains, 2 adults and 1 child, face down. The remains were lying side by side, in a line, all face down, as if they had been arranged. 3 miles from the truck, in dense forest. How does a family with a 6-year-old walk 3 miles into wilderness? Bobby could barely walk due to his back injury. Madison was 6. This path was nearly impassable. On July 3, 2014, the Oklahoma medical examiner confirmed the remains. Bobby, Sherilyn, Madison. But the cause of death could not be determined. The bodies were too decomposed. 4 Oklahoma winters. No bullet fragments, no knife marks on bones, no signs of struggle at the location. If they were murdered, the method left no trace. If they died naturally, why were they arranged? Face down, side by side, in a row. People who die of exposure don't arrange themselves neatly. Sherilyn's handgun was never found. The brown briefcase from the surveillance footage was never recovered. If the gun was taken by a killer, it proves murder. If it was lost in the woods, it proves nothing. What was in the briefcase? Money? Drugs? Documents? It vanished with the family. The Latimer County investigation hit wall after wall. Every theory had holes. Nothing added up. Theory 1, drug involvement. The strongest theory and the most troubling. The cache is the key. Southeastern Oklahoma is meth country. The Bois Mountains were known for hidden drug laboratories. Bobby had reported a meth lab to the police. In meth country, that's a death sentence. Did drug operators follow them into the mountains? Kill them? Take the briefcase and the gun? The $32,000. Was it Bobby's money? Drug money? A payment for something never completed? Police found no drugs or paraphernalia in their home or truck. Friends denied any drug involvement, but neighbors said the couple had been acting strangely. They appeared gaunt, withdrawn, paranoid. Was the trance-like surveillance footage evidence of drug use, or something else entirely? Theory 2, a cult. Sherilyn's mother believed her daughter had been targeted by a religious cult. She claimed the family was on a cult hit list, operating in the deep woods of southeastern Oklahoma. The witch Bible found in their home. Bobby's talk of spirits, the special bullets, all connected, the trance-like behavior on camera. Were Bobby and Sherilyn under the influence of cult programming? Law enforcement found no evidence of organized cult activity, but in the Bois Mountains, evidence disappears. Theory 3, Bobby's father. The family feud was vicious. Bobby had accused him of threats. Bobby's father had connections to the local drug trade. He had threatened the family according to court records, but police investigated and cleared Bobby's father. His alibi was solid, dead end. Theory 4, murder-suicide. Bobby killed Sherilyn and Madison, then himself. A family annihilation, but no weapon was found at the scene. Bobby could barely walk 3 miles with his back injury, and the bodies were arranged face down, side by side. Murder-suicides don't produce neat arrangements. Theory 5, they simply got lost, wandered into the forest and died of exposure or dehydration. But people who die of exposure fall where they collapse. They don't lie down neatly side by side. And why leave $32,000, their phones, and their dog? You don't walk away from everything you have unless someone forces you to. At gunpoint, deep in the woods, where no one can hear you. Theory 6, they were running. The trance footage shows fear, not drugs. They were packing to flee. The $32,000 was their escape fund. They were running from something, and it caught them. Running from the drug dealers Bobby reported, the cult Sherilyn's mother warned about, from Bobby's father. Every theory explains some of the evidence. None explains the bodies face down in a perfect row. That detail haunts every investigator who has worked this case. Face down, side by side. If they were murdered, the killer arranged them. Carefully, deliberately. Why? What purpose does that serve? Was it ritual? Was it respect? Was it contempt? The arrangement speaks a language no one understands. The dog Maisie survived. She was adopted by a Latimer County family. She lived out her natural life. If Maisie could talk, she could solve this case. She was there. She saw who left them behind. The case remains open with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Officially unsolved. No suspects have ever been named. No arrests made. No evidence sufficient to build a case. Madison's extended family has fought for answers. They believe she was murdered. They want justice. Justice for a 6-year-old girl who walked into the mountains holding her parents' hands and never came back. Bobby Jamison was in pain. Sherilyn Jamison was afraid. Madison Jamison was 6 years old. They loaded their truck like robots. They drove into the mountains. They left everything behind. They walked 3 miles into impassable forest with a disabled man and a small child. And they lay down, face down, side by side, in a line, and died. 4 years of Oklahoma weather destroyed the evidence. Heat, cold, rain, and animals erased the how. Without a cause of death, there can be no murder investigation. Without murder, no killer to pursue. The Sans Bois Mountains keep their secrets. The trees saw what happened. The dirt absorbed the truth. Somewhere in southeastern Oklahoma, someone knows what happened to the Jamison family. A meth cook, a cult member, a jealous relative. Someone carries this truth, and they say nothing. A family of 3, a truck full of money, a dog left behind, and mountains that swallowed them whole.